My best friends got married out in Hawaii really recently, and that's not a cheap ticket to go out to Hawaii. But when I found out he was getting married, it was a no-brainer, right? My girlfriend and I were like, "Yeah, we're on the way, right? We'll be there." Because I met him on day one of chemistry class, and I know he'll be a friend for life. So those are the bonds that your child is going to build at the Air Force Academy. So keep that in mind, that they're really building a new support network, and they're becoming an individual that I don't think you can imagine that they will become. I'm sure my mom, my dad can speak to the fact that me on day one and me on year 4 are very different individuals. So think about that and remember that when things get tough at the academy. Another thing that's going to dawn on you is that your child is going to the United States Air Force Academy and they're not going to UGA, right? At some point it's going to hit you that they're in Colorado Springs and you're in Georgia, and they're going to miss a family event, right? They're not going to be home for when the pet dies, right? They're not going to be home for that. They can't drive home because of that, because that's just not how we do things at the academy. They're in the military now, right? So that's part of who they are. So I know that that's going to be really difficult to see that at certain times, right? I've had to miss events for the family, and that's really tough. And it's the academy; it's not active duty, but this is the academy, right? It's a very different experience than what your peers' children are going to be going through at UGA, right? They can come home 45. I mean, I'm from Atlanta, so 45 minutes, an hour to Athens, to downtown Atlanta or wherever. Like they can just drive home. I couldn't. So if they didn't let me go, that was something that was unfortunately something that was really hard to deal with at times, right? So be ready for those moments, but know that the academy has their back. It will be there for them like they possibly couldn't imagine. Another thing is that if you see them on WebGuide and they are not smiling and they look so unbelievably miserable, the bald head, the eye bags, the whole thing, right? I can see myself in those pictures. I promise you that they probably are like zoned out, hungry, and there's like a hamster wheel just like going through their brain because they're not thinking that much. So I promise you that they're actually totally okay. They just caught them at a bad angle, so don't worry about it. And I'm sure that don't send your kid a letter and be like, "You look so unhappy in your photos." Like, you guys won't want to hear that, I promise. So make sure that you remember that. So those moments are going to be difficult when you're combing through the photos late at night and you see those pictures. So to the 23, I wanted to remind you that you graduated from the Air Force Academy. You're going to be in this simultaneously in this space where you have the most freedom and the least freedom that you're ever going to have in your life, right? You're now all of a sudden an active duty officer in the United States Air Force, and that comes with an extremely high standard, I've learned and realized. People are watching you even if you don't think that they're watching you. People are going to look at you because you're now an academy lieutenant. There's